ARC's Race of Champions round number 2 from Circuit of the Americas. Aiden Norman, Toby Estes on the front row. Norman wins pole for the second consecutive race, but it's no plate racing here. $200 on the line for your champion after 6 races, and we patiently wait for the lights to tell us we're about to go racing. 20 laps from Circuit of the Americas about to get underway. There are the lights. Grid is on. Five lights up, 5 lights down. There they go, and already a stall for Toby Estes. Aiden Norman gets off with a great start, and they race into turn number 1. Sean Honeybrink, last week's winner, already having trouble. Norman off to a quick start, Pressey behind him. Aiden Norman into the orange Holden Commodore, leading the way for General Motors in this first lap. Holden and Fords all the way down through the rest of the top 4. Toby Estes sitting in that 4th position in the 19, now looking to the Carolina blue and red machines. You've got Thomas Andrews and Ryan Pennell side by side. Ford versus Holden through the first corner. And now through the S's, Pennell looks like he's got the advantage. Oh, look at him hop those curbs. So dangerous. So hard to get a hold of these race cars. It almost makes you dizzy going around Circuit of the Americas, but here they are. So far, so good. Tommy Withers right now chasing down Ryan Pennell. This is a battle for the 9th position up at the front. Already 5.4 seconds ahead as expected. Aiden Norman, how about Nick Pressey overcooking his Mustang? Into the left-hander. Turn 12 right there, already claiming 1 victim. Let's see what happened to Jeremy Brio here recently. Just after the S's section, coming down to the hairpin. Brio just gives it a little too much. Look at Nick Pressey just trying to get to his inside almost 3 wide with Toby Estes as they speed away down the straight. Thomas Andrews, hoodless, already in big trouble. Let's see what happened to that number 2. He did not have a good start to this race. There he is, the navy-colored car, kind of hard to hear, kind of hard to see with the sun casting a shadow, but there's Andrews. From the word go, he's binned the race car. Andrews right now running in 11th. John Honeybrink, he got a very slow start to this one, sitting in 11th. I'm sorry, in the 12th position. There's Andrews with the damaged race car. Tommy Withers in the 10th position. Ryan Pennell from Austin himself, the Texan, going wide out of turn number 1, and now Withers chasing him down. Further on up, Briley Wright coming up behind Tom Sears. This is the fight for the 5th spot. Wright cuts that gap to within 7/10 coming down the straight. How about Tristan Catania out of the inside of Jimmy Kerr? What a move, the way he runs him down. Kerr now following the 48 of Catania from the long straight, but Catania runs it wide and opens the door for Kerr. Now coming back through turn 15. And what some might call the carousel, but this very long right-handed section. Look at the weight just transfer in the car. Kerr stays ahead of Catania this time around. Let's see what happened to John Honeybrink here. Again, down the long straight. Car possibly just got away from him. Just took it really wide. This is Catania's move again on Jimmy Kerr. Bravely sends it in, but then Tristan is going to send it just a bit wide on the corner, and Jimmy Kerr is going to take advantage. Could have gotten into that sand as well. Nick Pressey just had an incident. Goes way wide, overcooks the car there. Tom Sears has Briley Wright still holding him down. Jeremy Brio looks like he's gone off the track as well. He's in second. Toby Estes is right behind him. This is the fight for the silver medal spot. Circuit of the Americas hosting the ARC's Race of Champions for the first time this second round, playing host, and it's been a great race thus far. Jeremy Brio only 6/10 ahead of Toby Estes. Further on back, Tristan Catania and Jimmy Kerr continue to do battle. Those are the points coming into this race. Last week's winner at Daytona, John Honeybrink, leading the points. But of course, as these points are structured, it's only one marker between each finishing position. Every spot matters with $200 on the line. You better bet every spot matters. Honeybrink, points leader coming into this race, right now sitting stone dead last. Tom Sears just went purple, 2:15.96, the fastest lap of this race. Nick Pressey locks it up and kicks up big smoke into the air. Tom Sears now looking to take fourth away from Brooklyn's finest. Sears has Briley Wright just a little bit more than a second behind him. Jimmy Kerr and Tristan Catania getting close once again. This time it's Tristan that gets around Kerr. Let's see how he pulled it off. And that's Kerr just going wide through the arena section. Jeremy Brio looks like he had an incident in turn number 1 as well. Overcooked it. Those rotors glowing orange. He spins just ahead of Toby Estes. And now Brio on the chase once again. Check it out from Toby's point of view. There's Tristan Catania. He's sitting in the 7th position, locks it up again. Jimmy Kerr within 1.5 seconds to Tristan. Let's see what happened to John Honeybrink, last week's winner in the 2-0. A bit too vigorous with the steering. He goes a lap down. Aiden Norman still at the front of this race. Drivers won't make it more than about 12 laps on one tank of fuel. Tristan Catania goes wide. He opens up the door for JK3. Jimmy Kerr the third now hot on his tail. Catania just ahead of Kerr. Sears has gone purple again, 2:15.71. Tom Sears hot on Nick Pressey's tail. Riley Wright also within a second as well. How about Tristan and Jim now trying to swap spots still? About halfway to those green flag pit stops. Kerr right behind Catania just before the hairpin. Tristan with the lockup again. He's definitely going to need new tires. He goes off the track. Jeremy Brio now 6 seconds back of Toby Estes. Let's see what happened to the Massachusetts pilot in the Mustang. Just takes it a little bit wide there. And you can see Toby Estes now looking to get around John Honeybrink, but Sears, who's gone purple again, this time Briley Wright is closer to Tom Sears than Tom Sears it is to Nick Pressey. They're going to follow each other up into turn number 1. Let's see how this goes. Pressey, Sears, 2:15.27. He keeps on getting faster. Tom Sears with the quickest lap of the race. No, this time it's Briley Wright. I'm sorry, not Tom Sears. Briley Wright manages to go purple. 2:15.27 for him. Sears is right there. He can smell the fumes coming off of the silver Mustang. The Dayglow 14 Ford now right up Pressy's back end. This is the move for fourth. And again, when every position is just 1 point away, it matters. It absolutely matters. Tom Sears tries to go up the inside. Not going to work for him. Pressy takes it way wide. He's going to force Sears now to look further on the dirty line, and Sears is going to lose a lot of momentum, but he'll have the draft, and so will Briley Wright. Pressy on the inside, headed into the arena section. Tom Sears in the 14 runs it really wide, coming out of the left-hander. He opens up the door. Briley Wright now looking to get into the top 5. Sears playing both sides here, offense and defense. From the 5th position, we're only 8 laps into this 20-lap shootout. Fastest lap of the race, guess who? The guy who's 12.5 seconds out in front. Aiden Norman leading Toby Estes by an impressive margin. Again, 8 laps into this race. Tom Sears making things way more interesting than that race in the lead. Sorry, Aiden. The 14 of Sears bringing the action to the 94 of Pressy, and Nick can only hold on for so long, but Briley has to be thinking how long he might wait sitting in the 6th spot. On board with the Holden now. Impressive V8 sound from these supercars. It's the 2nd year in a row that we run this generation of V8 supercars. For all 3 editions of AROC, we have run V8 supercars, the first one being the Legacy Edition on iRacing here. You watched Briley Wright get around Tom Sears for the 5th position, and now Briley will turn the screw and squeeze the pressure on Brooklyn's Nick Pressy, while further on back, Jimmy Kerr now sneaking up to Tristan Catania. He's within 1 second. There's John Honeybrink running in 12th, and how about Ryan Pennell now looking maybe towards those pit stops over the last 5 laps. There you can see Pennell. He was 1 second faster than Kerr, and we'll see if he can make a move before these green flag pit stop cycles. Track facts telling you drivers will be able to go about 12 laps on one tank of fuel. And those point standings, again, showing John Honeybrink coming in with a great advantage, but of course with him running 12th, he could stand to lose a lot of points as well if things don't change by the end of this race. Tristan Catania also playing defense and looked like he's cutting the track there, possibly losing the line. He might have to give up some time, and now Jimmy Kerr all over the back end of that Mustang. Here we go, Ford versus Holden once again. Kerr with the advantage on the outside. Catania now looking to play defense on the way through the S's. Kerr going wide, now looking to get into that 7th position. Jeremy Brio still in that 2nd spot, but it looks like we've got cars coming down into the pits. It's Toby Estes who's come down on lap number 10, possibly to get that fuel. Tom Sears goes green, his personal best, 2:15.64. There's Nick Pressey in that silver Ford. And the Holden, Riley Wright, the Commodore, trying to get around the Mustang of Pressey. Riley Wright lets him know that he's there, putting the pressure on Nick. This is going to be a great run headed down that long back straight. What can Riley come up with? Chooses not to snake with Nick Pressey. Possibly coming in this time by, who knows? This is going to be a thrill. Pressey advantage, trying to hold off Wright. Riley really squeezing the pressure, possibly trying to force a mistake just before these pit stops start, and we'll see just how far they get. 11 laps underway from Circuit of the Americas. If you've just tuned in, you haven't missed a thing. Aiden Norman dominating this race, and unless something miraculous happens, it looks like that will be the case. But all the action sitting in the middle of the pack. Riley Wright will get around Nick Pressey as he decides to come down into the pits, and Tom Sears now all over the back end of the Bluegrass Bandit, and they're going to drag race into turn 1. Sun casting a gold and orange shadow, almost the same color as Tom Sears' brake rotors. Through that first corner, Tom Sears gets out of turn number 1. Riley Wright sits behind him half a second. The gap between them now, and they have yet to pit. All of the top 3 have not pitted. Jimmy Kerr now coming down the front straight. He also has not pitted. Sears in the Dayglow Ford. Riley Wright in the white Holden. And Riley manages to stay ahead of Tom Sears. Now down the long straight. Sears will be the cat. Wright will be the mouse. Let's see this chase. Briley Wright able to stay ahead of Tom Sears this time through. Just how long will they make it? Aiden Norman is in. Aiden Norman is in the pits. There goes the race leader, a 40-second gap. There goes Tom Sears. He's overcooked it coming out of the carousel section. No, this is the stadium section, headed towards this long carousel right here. Aiden still has not come down to a halt. The 62 stops. Now, tires, fuel, everything he'll need to make it to the end of the race. Here comes Briley. Will he come in? The number 8, Holden Commodore, will come down into the pits. Tom Sears will follow suit. Aiden Norman is down and away with the race lead, fresh tires, and enough fuel to go the distance. And he will once again walk away with that lead. There's Wright, there's Sears. Here comes Toby Estes. He pitted on lap number 9. Will he have enough to make it to the end? Drivers will be able to go about 12 laps on 1 tank of fuel. So now Toby, he has the advantage, but does he have to conserve for the rest of this race? Sears and Pressey back out on the track, nose to tail. Not sure what happened with Briley Wright. It looks like he just lost control of that race car. Briley came out of the pits and it just went lopsided for him. Watch this. Just already had that damage. Not sure if he picked that up in the pits. There's the battle for the 3rd position. Nick Pressey sits in 3rd with Tom Sears just 6/10 behind him now. There they go side by side through the stadium section. Sears has to kick the tail out to avoid making contact with Pressey, but he's got him shaken now, battling hard for that 3rd spot. Sears manages to get around Pressey now through the S's. Sears has 3rd. Pressey wants it, but then it'll be a question of will they have enough fuel to make it, and will they have the tires to make it as well. 7 laps to go this time by John Honeybrink. Looks like he's had another incident. Let's see what happened. Coming in too hot into that penultimate corner. Gives it a spin. And yeah, wow, it really damaged his race car. Looks like Jeremy Brio also has a damaged race car as well. Pressey in the 94. Sits just ahead of Sears, snaking down that long straight. Sears to the inside now. Will he outbreak him? He's got him there. Pressey looks like he gets the better exit off the corner. Tommy Withers looks like he's spun right off that final corner there. Let's see what happened to the Virginian. That's leader Aiden Norman behind Tommy Withers. No contact. Withers just possibly giving it too much wheel, giving it too much throttle. And the Holden Commodore has to reset. Withers in the 9th position. He didn't race last week at Daytona, but there are some drivers that raced at Daytona not here tonight. That's going to shake up their chances at winning that cold, hard cash. $200 on the line for the champion, the points leader after 6 races. That's going to be a thrill to watch, guaranteed. Ryan Pinnell from Austin, Texas, just on the outskirts of the city. Sitting behind Jimmy Kerr by about 7 seconds. Looking back to that battle for third, Nick Pressey was able to get away from Tom Sears, but now Sears hard on the chase. Trying to get that nose under that silver Mustang. There's the pass for second. We saw it just after they left the long straight. Tom Sears now looks like he's lost it. Chasing down Nick Pressey. What happened to the 14? Sears now having to play catch-up to get that second position. Aiden Norman still leading this race by an impressive 18 seconds, but not immune to going off the racetrack. Watch Norman. Now he's just wiggling a little bit. He's got to be careful. But still leading by quite some margin. Toby Estes has a great hold on second. Briley Wright now moves into that third position with Tom Sears giving chase. Maybe Wright can put some pressure to that Ford of Nick Pressey. We'll see how many Holdens will get on the podium this week compared to last week. Aiden Norman coming to 5 laps to go. Briley Wright kicks up a little bit of smoke into that first corner. He goes pretty wide. Nick Pressey's going to gain some advantage. Tom Sears all over the back end of Wright. He wants to get fourth before the night's out. Briley Wright now behind Nick Pressey. That's the battle for third. Tom Sears more pressed with taking fourth away from Wright. How about Tristan Catania and Ryan Pinnell now going at it? The Texan gets around the New Jersey pilot for 7th. Tristan getting a little extracurricular there. Ryan Pinnell, meanwhile, looks like he might have had a spin. Check this out. We just left them here going into turn number 1. Oh, Pinnell just went way wide. He really cooked that one. Thomas Andrews looks like he might have had an incident as well. Let's see what happened to another New Jersey pilot. Coming into the hairpin before the long straight, might have just spun it under braking. John Honeybrink, this is coming down off the long straight. Looks like Honeybrink had a problem. Tires starting to wear, fuel getting light. The handling is changing on these race cars. Drivers must adapt. How about Toby Estes going through the S's and nearly loses that fabulous Ford Mustang. Tom Sears all over the back end of Briley Wright. This is into turn 1. Sears able to get to the inside. Does Wright have a rebuttal coming out of the first corner? Sears able to get the position, and he keeps it, now headed through the S's. Nick Pressey, just 0.7 of a second between him and Toby Estes through the hill with the gorgeous sun gleaming through the background. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey still sits in third. Estes just ahead in that second position. I say just ahead. It's a 30-second gap. Tom Sears, though, a bit shorter. How about 0.6 behind Nick Pressey, and Briley Wright within striking distance to Tom Sears. Watch this run. Three laps to go. Next time by, we do have green-white checkers tonight. So if something outrageous happens before the white flag and we get a caution, we do have 3 green-white checkers at our disposal. So it's not over till it's over. And Tom Sears says it ain't over. He gets to the inside of Pressey, but he gives it too much gas. Pressey able to move through the corner with no trouble whatsoever. Nick Pressey solid in the 3rd position. Sun now setting calm and serene through Coda. Pressey able to steer his way through the corner. Sears goes wide from that turn right there. He now looks to slow things down, kind of catch up and see if he can put some hard pressure on Nick Pressey, who gives it a tail whip out of the final corner. Let's go on board with the pilot from Brooklyn. Let's see what happened to Toby Estes just now through the stadium section. One of those Bluegrass Bandits, one of 2 Bluegrass Bandits in tonight's race, Briley Wright being the other. He's sitting in 5th right now, Briley. Here's Toby. Just takes it wide, overcooks it. Tires are wearing. And Estes comes out that final corner. 31 seconds behind Aiden Norman, 33 seconds ahead of Nick Pressey, and Tom Sears 0.6 of a second behind the Brooklyn pilot. Briley Wright just waiting, watching, just trying to see what's going to happen. There is your race leader, Aiden Norman. No issues for him. Thomas Andrews, he goes really wide off of the left-hander. Pressey in the 94. Half a second ahead of Tom Sears. Will Sears give him the business up the inside? No, he might try the outside, though. There goes Sears right up the inside. He's trying something special on Pressey. Watch this. Two laps to go this time by for Aiden Norman. Tom Sears looking to get that podium finish. He sits third in those points right now, just one spot behind Thomas Andrews, who's currently running in 10th. Next week, the circus will travel to the Pocono Raceway. You thought drafting was impressive at Daytona. Well, obviously. We'll see what these guys can do at the Tricky Triangle. And then in 2 weeks, the Brickyard, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for these V8 supercars. Another couple of firsts coming at you right here on Rick James TV, all in the pursuit of that sweet cash, $200 on the line for our champion. After 6 races, Tom Sears chasing down Nick Pressey. Mustang versus Mustang coming to 2 laps to go. It's been a dominating performance by Aiden Norman. Ryan Pennell chasing down Tristan Catania. This is for 7th. Jimmy Kerr III sitting right ahead of Thomas Andrews. They're not fighting for position. Catania takes it wide. Pennell, the Texan, now looks to get a run on Catania. This is Sears all over the back end of Pressey now. Pressey gets loose. They're going to go through the S's. Sears looks like he's going to take the advantage. Brake lights flashing as the sun sets just behind the racetrack. Nick Pressey just ahead of Tom Sears. The track bathed in orange light with fewer than 2 laps remaining. Nick Pressey, Tom Sears fighting it out for 3rd. Now behind them, Ryan Pennell now trying to take care of Tristan Catania. This is for 7th. White flag waving for Aiden Norman. Just under 3.5 miles remain. Toby Estes in that 2nd position. Tom Sears looks like he's gotten around Nick Pressey. Check out the Brooklyn pilot's mistake. What happened here for him? Sends it in on Tommy Withers. And contact. And contact. Nick Pressey once again. Check out another angle. There's the 94, Withers in the blue 21. Just turns left onto the Ford and sends him for a spin. Nick Pressey down to the 5th position. Tom Sears sitting in 3rd. No competition behind him. Briley Wright into 4th. There's Pressey in 5th, quickly chasing down the Bluegrass Bandit. Two seconds the gap now. There's the white flag. Briley Wright chasing down Tom Sears. Nick Pressey gives it too much with the right foot. White flag waves for him. Fans at home, thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's race. Thank you so much for being a part of this excellent broadcast. Stick around. We're going to have podium interviews at the end of this one, and we'll let you know where you can get some of your favorite NASCAR memorabilia. We're, of course, talking about drip die casts and collectibles. Aiden Norman, just a few more corners to go for his dominating victory to come complete, and it'll be a big jump in the points for him. AROC 2's champion comes back into the second round of AROC 3. He's going to get back on racing track. Checkered flag is out. Aiden Norman wins at COTA. Norman gets the job done. He's got the victory. Toby Estes some 32 seconds behind Aiden Norman. It's going to be a good second place finish for the Bluegrass Bandit. He was not in last week's race at Daytona. He is here for this week's race at COTA. And it's going to be a good run for him. Toby Estes, 2 more corners to go. A little bit of a flourish. Checkered flag is out. Toby Estes comes home. 2:24.18. His personal best. Tom Sears in that third position. Briley Wright gets close to him, but it won't be enough for the Bluegrass Bandit in the white Commodore. It's going to be down to this man here in the Dayglow Mustang. Tom Sears comes off that final corner. Checkered flag is in the air, and he collects a bronze medal tonight at Circuit of the Americas. We're going to have Tom Sears, Toby Estes, and Aiden Norman on the podium. Nick Pressey coming home in 5th. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top 3 in just a moment. On the podium now with our top 3, starting with Southampton, Massachusetts, Tom Sears. Tomo, good run for you tonight. Bronze medal at COTA. You had some really hard racing there, though.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun between me, Riley, and Nick.
we pretty much fought the whole race for fourth, and then it became third. So we were just having a great battle. And then I think Withers and Pressy got together, so it kind of ended that. But I had a lot of fun. Never even saw Aiden and Toby the whole race. Just never. I mean, first corner I saw them, they were gone. So it was. I mean, this track. I've never loved this track, but this car is pretty fun at this track. I really like this combination. So I would like to come back here.
Next
And,
week. Sorry, Tom.
Thanks for the stream. Yeah, thanks for the stream. Appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you, man. Next week at Pocono, though, we're going to get back into some drafting here, back into some oval racing. What do you think there? You got to get another podium?
I hope so. That's 2/3 in a row, so points should be at least top 3, I would expect, so.
How about top of the tree, Tomo? You're going to lead the points standings. You're going to have a 4-point advantage over the 3-way tie for second with Aiden Norman, Nick Pressy, and Jimmy Kerr headed into Pocono.
Wow, that's great. I can't wait to choke another points lead on your broadcast channel. So excited for that, and can't wait for Pocono.
We'll see you in a week, man. Let's talk to our second place finisher, Toby Estes. Toby, you flew the flag for the Bluegrass Bandits, man. You had some great racing, and you got that silver medal tonight.
Yeah, I was getting to race Jeremy there in the early part of the race, and unfortunately he spun going into turn 1. But after missing Daytona, had a lot of fun in the booth with you, no doubt. But definitely hated to miss that race. But hopefully going forward I can maybe snag a win at least, or stay in the top. I would love to stay in the top 3 for the rest of the series.
Well, you're 10th in points right now, making your first start, and you're only 8 points behind that 3-way tie for second. You're only 6 points behind John Honeybrink. He's in a 2-way tie for fifth. These points are pretty crazy, man, but we'll see you in Pocono. We'll see what happens there.
Oh, yeah, definitely looking forward to the good old Pocono.
We'll see you in a week, man. Let's talk to Aiden Norman. Not really much to say, Aiden. You dominated the whole race. You picked up not necessarily where you left off at Daytona. You did a lot better there. And now in a week's time at the Tricky Triangle, are you already setting your sights on not only another AROC championship, but that $200?
I mean, that's obviously the goal, but that's the goal for everybody, so nobody's going to just give it up. I'm going to have to fight for it. Luckily, I really like the schedule that we've got this season, and I think Pocono is probably one of my better oval tracks, if you can call it an oval, but I guess Speedway would be a better term, so I'm looking forward to it.
We'll see you in a week's time, man. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see what happens with that tiebreak next week.
All right, thank you, Rick.
Fans at home, AROC Chapter 2 is in the books. Season 3 will continue next Thursday right here on Rick James TV, 8:40 p.m. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other.